Welcome back to another edition of Laying It Down. It is Thursday, January 6th, joined by Scout and Sloth. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year.
Glad to be back for another year.
Run it
Got a
back.
new mic. And before we started,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Scout tucks his pajama pants into his shirt.
Look, I don't know what
Wow.
you guys are talking about. Spreading fraudulent news on like the first pod of the new year. Outrageous.
Why do you do that?
Unbelievable. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was.
If you were to do that, why would you do that?
Well, if I were to tuck in, tags are a nightmare sometimes. So it's just the comfort factor, I would assume.
It was bananas move. It was great though.
Again,
set the tone.
It's not something that I have done nor will ever do. But if I were to do it,
It
or
would be
somebody
funny.
out there who would do it, that's pretty funny, and that would probably be the reason they're doing it. Yeah.
Interesting. So
it's not a nightmare.
No.
For the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, we're back. Sloth's on board. It's a good year, man. Good year.
I've made my peace. Not on this podcast, but in the group chats. Sent out the text saying, hand up, was wrong. A ray of sunshine this year shined upon our flower bed and sprouted some beautiful flowers. We're in the playoffs now. There is some things to be concerned about.
Here we go.
One of which is we are on a very Miami Dolphins like schedule right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Fair.
End of year we have played bad teams, bad quarterbacks, and I beat them. So you don't make the schedule. We're 6-1.
Yep.
Boom. Playoffs. That's all you can say, right? Two is this was more Scout, but absolutely it's just craziness coming from him last night. He said he would rather play Tom Brady and the Bucs than the Rams in the first round of the playoffs. Unbelievable.
I did say that.
Asking for Tom Brady is the
I would
craziest thing
rather.
ever.
To me, I get Tom Brady's the GOAT. But football, man, it's such a team sport, and the Bucs are dealing with a ton of injuries on both sides of the ball. And I just feel like the Eagles would match up a little bit better than the Rams' star-studded lineup. Because if we think
You're not
about
worried about but the Eagles had the Eagles' offense is run. You want to go up against the Bucs' run defense?
Yeah, I think they're a little overrated, to be honest with you. I think that their secondary has been injured, so teams tend to want to throw on them more than run, and you're versing Tom Brady in a high-powered Bucs offense, so they're putting up points. Hence, you have to throw the ball because you're probably down to keep up with them. I don't know if they played the Colts this year, but I'd like to see how that game would shape out.
What they have. The Colts might not even make the playoffs either. But to much of my surprise, the Eagles are going to sneak their way in here. Not even be a 7 seed. I think they have chances to move all the way up to 5, right? In a sense.
No, 4. They can't catch the Cardinals or the Rams.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I still hate Howie. Never gonna. I don't know if I can ever forgive that man for the picks that man has made. I hate the fact that he's going to be making our 3 first-round picks next year. I know everybody wants to give him a lot of credit for this season, but let's not. I saw a tweet. I forget who it was, but let's not act like Howie's a new GM that came in and fixed the whole situation. Got rid of the quarterback that they drafted and and fixed all the situation. No. He created this mess, and now he's it's working out. But God, we lose 2 more games, he's gone. That's all we're saying.
Can I play devil's advocate really quick?
Sure.
I know Howie is basically like a scapegoat for Eagles fans, and they just kind of want to throw him under the bus. Rightfully so for the picks that he's made in recent history, like the Jalen Reagor and basically taking Jalen Hurts in the second round when you have then franchise quarterback Carson Wentz, who was fragile and basically fractured their whole relationship. But I heard somebody talking about this on the radio, and in 2018, do you know what the draft class was that year?
I don't know what you mean by that.
So do you know who the Eagles took in 2018?
I forget where they even picked. So they would pick 32, right?
No, they didn't even have a first-round pick. They had 1 second, 2 fourths, a sixth, and a seventh. You want to know who those players turned out to be?
Sure.
Dallas Goedert in the second round, Avonte Maddox, Josh Sweat, and Jordan Mailata in the 7th round. That's a pretty damn good draft class, considering all 4 of those guys are probably going to be cornerstones of this Eagles team moving forward. So I know
he has found some late round gems, but it's the high draft capital picks.
Yes, he's got to hit a first rounder. He has to hit a first rounder, I'm like, he's got to go. I agree with you.
Not even close, and it's
right.
And it's layups. That's the problem. Is that they're obvious picks. They're layups. And okay, 2018, he did it. But if we go back throughout his whole draft history, I mean, we're not going to be able to say that he's a good drafter at all. And you're going to find that he's one of the bottom GMs in drafting when you look at who he picked. Like, I mean, the one year I think early on in this pod we went through some of the picks for like 5 years of the person he picked, who was picked next, who was picked after that, and then the next person at the same position, and almost like every time it was like a Pro Bowl player was picked next at the position. So it's, I don't know. And then Nick Sardini,
coach of the year.
No.
Put some respect on this man.
He's not coach of the year. I do think it's awesome that a whole fan base was able to bully this team into making the playoffs and making some adjustments. But you have to give him credit for not being too stubborn.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, I really do, honestly. Do you not? You
shot.
didn't follow the fact that the fans were literally booing them every time they dropped back the pass, and that they were screaming to run the ball at the top of their lungs. That every single press conference was, "Hey, you ran the ball twice. When's Miles going to get more touches? Hey, when's you going to run the ball? Hey, when are you going to run the ball? Hey, when are you going to run the ball?" And all he said was RPOs count as runs. Like, that was every single press conference was, "Why aren't you running the ball? Why does Miles Sanders only have 2 touches? Why does Miles Sanders only have 3 touches? Why did you only run the ball 5 times in the first half?" Like, that was the whole first half of the season, was us just bitching to Nick about, please run the ball. And then Miles gets hurt. He runs the ball. They run for like 200 yards. And he's like, "Oh, it fucking worked, huh?" Like, he just fucking put his tail between his legs and was like, "Oh, this is who we are. This is our identity." And like, I guess turned into it. And now is, hey, we're like one of the number 1 rushing teams in the league. But you can't, I mean, like I said, you got to give him credit for changing, but he wants to pass the ball. He's a wide receivers guy who wants to pass the ball, and it's every single game. I mean, it's the start of every single game. We start slow. Why? Because we're trying to pass the ball, and then we go, "Oh wait, we can actually run the ball on these fucking clowns," and we just pound it down their throat. It's a little bit of a love-hate. It is, and it was the same thing with Doug. Like, Doug didn't run the ball either, and you're like, "Yo, Doug, we fucking can run the ball. Just run it," and he never wanted to either. So it's. If you can do it and you do it well, I don't understand why you would get away from it, and they shouldn't.
You know who the owner is, right?
What about the owner's calling plays?
No, but it was reported that that's where the grief with him and Doug Peterson was, because Doug wanted to run the ball and he wanted to pass the ball, and that was the same philosophy with Andy. Andy wanted to pass the ball and not run the ball as much, and we can see that what he does in Kansas City. So. Lori has taken Andy Reid's philosophy and basically is like, "Here, guys, new coaches that aren't even in the same stratosphere as Andy Reid as a coach. Let's go ahead and try to run an Andy Reid system." When in all reality, when you don't have the players, to do that, you don't have a top quarterback and you don't have top weapons to throw the ball, why are you trying to throw the ball?
You have to go into this team's strengths. And
right, exactly.
Smith is
and that's why Nick Sirianni should be considered for Coach of the Year.
I think there's guys way better than him this year. Sure, you can throw his name out there, but Mike Vrabel is up there.
Yes, Mike Vrabel should win.
I would say even LaFleur with whatever the fuck was going on with Aaron Rodgers. Like
That's also a good point.
Andy Reid and the Chiefs bounce back. I mean, they've won like 10 straight or whatever they were until last week. So I don't know. I think there's
what's the name? Zach Taylor, right? Of the Bengals. He's got to be up there. I know people were pretty much out on him, but I mean, you give credit to Joe Burrow all you want, but I mean, the Bengals just won one of the toughest divisions in football, last to first. That doesn't happen a lot. That's got to be good coaching there.
All right, so last two questions I have on the Birds. Woody, sorry, I know we're icing you out here, but we'll get to the Dolphins.
Don't need to. We could actually skip right over them. It's actually probably better.
Look, like I said, I don't love the front office. I mean, that's Jeffrey Lurie. If he's pressuring the coaches to pass the ball, then like I don't know, man. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane as the owner and let the coaches coach and play to their strengths. But two things. One, this is I think brought up on another podcast, but Andy Reid, I think, has 10 straight winning seasons now with the Kansas City. Would you have, looking back, do you think that relationship was completely fractured? There's no chance Andy Reid could have ever been successful at Philly again? Or would you I don't know. Do you look back and damn, we're on our second head coach? I mean, yeah, we have a Super Bowl, but it would have been cool to keep Andy.
No, that's definitely a fair question, but I don't think I would change anything strictly because the Eagles somehow won a Super Bowl. So I think that basically trumps everything. But no, I think it would have worked out if Andy had stayed. I know some of the older Eagles fans, and we're starting to get tired of them. I mean, if you think about it, Andy didn't really have any top of the line quarterbacks like Donovan McNabb. I mean, he was
French,
right? He was the best quarterback Andy had, and then he goes to Mahomes, and now he can't lose. Obviously, he's got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, so that's all you needed to do. Go out and get one of these top guys, and he's clearly in the top of his class. And to add one more point, it's kind of like the old adage, if you're going to get rid of a head coach, are you going to bring somebody in who's better? I think that's what people are talking about. I don't know if Mike Tomlin is necessarily on the hot seat, but he just won. He hasn't ever had a losing record in 15 years, but they don't really ever win in the playoffs besides that one Super Bowl. So but can you do better than Mike Tomlin? Probably not.
No.
Who's that? Hugh Jackson? Is that him?
The Bengals?
From the Browns?
No. Who was the Bengals coach for a decade?
Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis. That always would lose the playoff game, but would make the playoffs every year.
But look what happened to the Bengals when he left. They were a dumpster fire. So it's do you want to?
It's the same thing with quarterback, though.
Exactly.
And then
kind of
Woody,
go hand in hand.
here you go. This is. I need your opinion on this too, because I think Scout's a little crazy.
Okay.
Eagles have 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, you're crazy for this.
One of which is the Dolphins. So you're going to have one in the top 16, right?
Probably, yeah.
And then probably the other two will probably fall in the 20s if the Colts make the playoffs and the Eagles already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to take a quarterback with 3 first-round picks?
No.
Thank you.
Why would you
You're
do that?
Crazy.
I think with the amount of draft capital that you have, and you don't have a locked-in backup like Minshew's, he's not signed though. I think he's 1 year.
Sign him.
And then he wants to be a starter. He already was asking Nick to start over Jalen Hurts in week 16. For a couple weeks ago, he was asking to start. So I don't know. I'm just saying, if you have that draft capital, and yes, this team has needs, but if there's a quarterback that falls, I don't know the quarterback draft class well enough to know who we're even looking at, but if there's somebody that falls and it's just sitting in your lap with one of these picks, I think you take them. I think it's a bad idea to pat. Quarterback is such a crapshoot, and if you're just going to wait until you're in the top 10 to take a quarterback anytime, I think you're behind the 8 ball. The Patriots always took a quarterback. In every draft, they took a quarterback when they had Tom Brady.
I'm not sure they took a quarterback in the first round, though.
I'm not saying they took it in the first round, but did they ever have 3 first-round picks in the first round? No. I'm just saying, you either take a quarterback or you, at the very least, they must trade one of these picks and have 2 next year. I don't see a reason if you make the playoffs to take all 3 first round. You should be moving these around to get more capital. If you I think we've over produced in some areas, so that some of these areas that we thought were bigger needs at entering the season aren't as bigger needs closing the season, and you can make some moves with 3 picks. I don't think they should stay static and just take an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, and a cornerback. I would like them to move around a little bit and make some moves and make some things happen.
What are your thoughts on this, Woody? Come on.
If I'm the Eagles and I have 3 first-round picks, first off, trading for known players, I'm all for that all the time. But this draft, the QBs, it's pretty skimpy. You got Matt Corral, who just broke his ankle last week, Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh, and Willis from Liberty, who those are your top 3 guys. Your
Sam
next
Howell.
is Howell from UNC, who
So
is
none
a
of these
spitting
guys
image of Baker Mayfield.
Wait, so then if none of these guys are it doesn't sound like anybody's thinking these guys are going to come into the league and set the world on fire.
Right.
I mean, nothing like Lawrence or Kyler, guys we've seen coming in before. I think the last thing you do if you're the Eagles is take quarterback first.
I agree 100%.
You're just building up Jalen Hurts, right? You're just giving him the keys. The worst thing you can do for him is have a first-round draft pick, like a Jordan Love type deal. If Hurts starts sucking a little bit, fans are going to call for the next guy. And if anything, you got to build around this dude, get him a better defense, and see what you can do. Or use those picks and trade for known guys that can help the team now. So I would go. I'd be shocked if they took.
What would be the earliest round you take a quarterback if you have?
I don't even think you take one.
4th round.
What?
I don't even think you get a backup who's been in the league forever. I don't think
there's tons of backups.
There's plenty of reasons to take a young quarterback that you can just move and trade them like anything. And if something like Carson Wentz happened, I mean, at the end of the first year, we all were ready to crown Carson Wentz king of the city too. You know what I mean? We're calling it Pennsylvania, print the shirts. Hertzylvania, print the shirts, right? We're ready to go, right? Oh shit! All of a sudden, in 3 years, old scout here, Cleat House, get rid of him. The Nick Sardine, I don't care that he won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. We need to get rid of everybody. This team
contacts,
sucks.
baby. Contacts are everything.
I'm just saying, the way how quickly the league changes, and when you have a running quarterback, you need a solid backup. You have to make it clear, and you should make it clear that Jalen Hurts is your starter, and there's no doubt about that.
I would say
the Carson Wentz situation is so different. I don't know. I don't know. I just think quarterback is such a valuable position that if you can take a guy that falls to you or whatever, develop him and trade him or whatever, do what you got to do with them, then it's better than a backup D tackle that never sees the field in 3 years. A first round quarterback pick is going to be in the league for 5 to 7 years.
I'd rather. It's just a difference in philosophy. I'd rather have a veteran who's been around the league, can actually teach.
I would rather take a running back. So we're all there.
Hurt something maybe. Because if you draft a first round guy or whatever, Jalen's gonna be teaching this dude. Jalen needs some teaching himself, I think, still. So I would go veteran route.
So you're going veteran. So you're going veteran for a couple of years until what? Till the second contract, then you bring in the.
And Jalen even said how important Joe Flacco was.
What? Oh, how important Joe Flacco was to Hurts.
Yeah, I think because
he's a veteran
guy. We're not throwing downfield getting defensive pass interference. So Joe Flacco didn't teach him shit.
He said how important he was for him to pick up the offense and how to be a pro and shit like that. Stuff that
I think there's learning
young
outside of the field stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I get that, but I don't know. I just feel like there's with the amount of value that we have, I don't know. I just think.
You know what? If the Eagles draft a quarterback in the first round, I'll be more pissed off this year than I was when the Eagles took Jalen Hurts in the second round a couple of years ago.
Okay.
That's how stunned I would be if they took a first round quarterback.
I'm just saying I'm not saying they need I don't know. I'm just saying if he falls to him and in the Hurts situation, they took a quarterback that fell to him. They took the best guy available that was this guy fell to us, and we'll take him.
Well,
they didn't realize that they didn't realize that a weak-minded quarterback. If your quarterback's really that weak-minded that you drafted a guy, I'm going to be benched now. He's not your guy to begin with.
All right,
You
let's
don't-
get
you don't
it
see the-
straight.
you don't see the
Aaron
wide
Rodgers
receivers?
was not happy that the Packers drafted Jordan Love, and
Yes, but that's
he's Aaron
because
Rodgers.
But that's because they knew. That's because he knows that his time there's like they're not going to re-sign him, and like it's over. Like that's different. He's at the
He's
end of his
still on the
career.
team.
He's at the end of his career.
Is he?
That's different.
Come on,
He's
man.
at the end. He's at the end of his career for the Packers.
He's about to win back-to-back MVPs. He's at
It's
the
the
end of his
same thing.
career. Get the hell
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, it's the same thing that the Patriots did to Tom Brady when they drafted Jimmy G. Tom was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Who is this guy?" And they're like, "We think you're coming down to the end of the wire here, so we're preparing for the future." That's all. Like you can't be mad at a
Jimmy
team
G
preparing
wasn't
for the
a
future.
first-round quarterback. This is the difference here. You cannot take a backup quarterback in the first round. You just can't.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I think you can.
And those
Every
guys
guy
were.
has to be a starter. Not every guy has to be a starter.
God, I don't know, man.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Like
you can't.
the only
you
look,
can't-
listen. The
What
only
happens-
way you
what
can take a
happens-
first-round quarterback is if you have a veteran quarterback who is at the end of the hill. Like when the Chiefs took Mahomes and they had Alex Smith as a quarterback, you knew
Oh.
that he wasn't your franchise guy.
I think that's just weak-minded players that if they really get that upset about like, oh, you took a first-round quarterback, it's like, yo, yeah, we did. You know why? Because quarterback's the most valuable position, and if one of you guys goes down, we're absolutely fucked. That's why. Look at the quarterbacks. Look at the quarterbacks that are.
QB factory.
I'm just saying, look at the quarterbacks that are in the playoffs. If you have a bad quarterback, you're absolutely fucked. And you're not making it. You're not.
Okay.
Like that's it. Like I'm just sorry. Like,
So say Hertz does go down, you're going to thrust in a guy who's never played before.
Yeah,
I'd
Even if
rather
it's
take- would you rather take a chance with a guy that's never played before and be like, all right, well, let's see what happens here? And that's what we did with Hertz.
I'd go
last
the
year.
I'd go
That's
the
what we did with
veteran.
Hurts
I'd
last
go the
year. Now
veteran
we're ready.
route.
We're ready to start him.
No, I would not.
We know
I would go the
Minshew's not the
veteran route.
answer. We know Minshew's not the answer. So like, I don't know why you would. I don't know. Like I'm just saying, if like quarterbacks get hurt all the time, things don't work out all the time, and you want to make a change, and now you're just going to lock yourself into one guy and hope he's it, and then never draft any competition that could potentially make you better. I think that's just dumb. Like
The only time this has worked is
competition
when the Cardinals took Kyler after Josh Rosen.
that's a
And
completely
Kyler
different
was
situation.
like way better.
Completely different situation. Completely different situation.
But it's really not.
It is because they were drafting Kyler to replace Rosen, and everybody knew that. You're not drafting a guy to replace him. And I'm not saying you have the first overall pick. Like this could be pick 29. That's basically a second round pick. Like I don't know. I just think there's
Just
the quarterback's
too rich for me.
quarterback is too valuable of a position to pass up on guys that are like just there. At the very least, you can trade them. Like and people are going to take quarterbacks. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're
22
on an
minutes in. Let's get in. Let's get into the week.
island. You're on an island.
I guess we'll go Bucks. I mean, Antonio Brown. I mean, if he could paint an even crazier picture to his seat or his career, everybody's seen the video. He actually his lawyer or attorney just released something saying he was hurt, and that's why he didn't go in. His MRIs to prove it, all that. So the Bucks all of a sudden are pretty banged up. Mike Evans isn't fully healthy. They're a little shorthanded, offense and defense. You're worried about the Bucks heading in the postseason. I don't think they're the favorites, and I don't think it's even close.
I'm very worried. Especially if they get the Eagles or the Niners, I think they'll get bounced.
I mean, I think we have a great chance against the Niners if Trey Lance is starting.
Well, we would never play the Niners, but
Yeah, but if we could wiggle away against them, I think the Bucks are. I've never counted Tom Brady out. The Rams are limping in. The Cowboys are kind of. I mean, we should still get Are the Cowboys going to play their starters? I mean, they still have placement, right? We do too.
So some of them, I heard you're going to start Minshew probably.
they should.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter for us too much in the sense of 6 or 7, but like for the Cowboys, it does.
You're right.
The Cowboys
I think
can do
if
3 or
you're the Cowboys, you got to figure out what's wrong. You got to play all your starters because their run game's not going, and you just lost Michael Gallup for the year. They got to figure it out. So I would expect them at least for a half to play all starters. Micah Parsons is out on COVID, but I mean, they got a lot of stuff. If I were you guys, what could the Cowboys be for?
The Cowboys can be 4 or 3.
Okay.
and potentially 2 if the Rams lose, and whoever and Bucks lose.
Yeah, if I had my choice, I would go against any team Mike McCarthy's coaching because he's a wild card and can't manage a game. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I
Woody,
think.
that's a fair point.
I mean, he kind of bundled the game against the Cardinals.
Mhm.
Like, dude, what are
just-
you
what he
doing with
does,
your
man.
timeouts?
Yep.
Like
Save one.
Literally, just go in the game thinking you have 2, because you're going to screw it up, and then you'll have an emergency one later. So yeah, the NFC is a little more. We kind of have a more clear of a picture than the AFC. The
Colts
big
all of a
game. The only
sudden-
really what?
I think the Colts all of a sudden on the AFC side have gone from like Super
Right?
Bowl favorite to might miss the playoffs.
Oh man! And if they lose, there's a scenario. If the Colts lose to the Jaguars, who the Jaguars have beaten the Bills, they beat the Colts last year when nobody was expecting it. So I mean, they are like double-digit underdogs. But if the Jags were to beat the Colts, the Chargers and the Raiders play Sunday night because it's a win and get in. The Colts lose. They could tie. The Raiders and the Chargers could tie, and they would both get in. So if you're if say the Jags win, would you talk to, if you're Brandon Staley, would you talk to Basicki and be like, hey, let's just kneel it and we're both in? Or would you try and beat him?
I don't think the NFL would allow it to happen, would they?
I think you got to do it.
Roger would be so mad.
Oh,
He'd be
totally.
Like, yo,
they'd get fined.
Yeah, they would get so fined.
But I mean, if you just like wink, wink, and just run the ball a ton, and I don't know.
Yeah, just make it
3-3. Yeah. I mean, you're both in. That's the goal, right? Is to make it next round.
Yeah, but I think you're too competitive to be like, we're just going to eliminate one of you guys.
I would do it. I would be totally in. But yeah,
now that
the Colts
would be
gotta
something.
win, and they most likely will win. But I guess next week we'll do like playoff prediction.
Yeah, nothing really of note happened last week too much. I mean, the Ravens got eliminated, right? With that
the
loss.
Ravens are still somehow mathematically alive, but they're basically dead.
Dude, they're just like Tennessee, except for in the fact, like with their injuries. Something like Tennessee has started 88 different players or something this year.
Yeah, Vrabel, coach of the year.
Yeah, I want to say he would be the front runner.
The Bengals, I mean, I go with the Chiefs. Chiefs sleepwalk game a little bit, but they just lost the first place seed there with that loss.
Derrick Henry came back to practice today for the Titans. So if the Titans win, they get the first round bye. So Henry's got a little bit more time, and the Titans with Derrick Henry are a lot more scary than Deontay Foreman. So, I mean,
Bills will probably end up hosting the Patriots in the playoffs. That'll be cool.
I'd love to see that.
That would be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Who else? I mean, the Patriots just smoked the Jaguars as they should. Vikings dead. I mean, they got to get rid of Kirk, right? And Zimmer.
I mean,
I
Kirk
just don't know
didn't
who
play.
you replace him with.
Kirk didn't play, I know, but still.
The Browns are in the same city. I think the Browns and Vikings might just swap quarterbacks, just a new face, because the options.
It honestly would
good.
probably be better. It probably would be better because the Browns just want to run the ball anyways. So let Kirk just throw it 10, 15 times a game and let Baker just bomb it to Justin Jefferson and it'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Baker, man, I don't know what Baker was doing. I think he ended up hurting himself this year more than anything. Like
literally.
In the sense, yes, in the sense of yes, he hurt himself, but then he hurt his future potential more by just trying to play it out. And I think he could have just. I don't know if it was a season-ending surgery or whatever it was he needed to get done with his shoulder, but like
torn labrum.
He should have just hung it up. I mean, because I don't think the Browns are going to stay committed to him at all.
It made no sense for him to play against Pittsburgh. They were already eliminated. I don't know why he played to begin with.
The Browns weren't eliminated.
Going into the game, I thought they were. Because it was Monday night? Because Bengals, after Sunday, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess in that sense it makes more sense. Like, he had already prepared and everything. But
Pittsburgh, Big Ben, done.
Oh.
Final ride. Going to make the playoffs, though, potentially, right?
It was good. It was a good run.
What a ride.
That guy loves him.
All
He's
time.
gonna come back.
All-time
You know
guy.
he is. You know he's gonna come back.
Like
or
if they
something.
pulled Brett Favre.
No, he won't go to another team. I think Big Ben's definitely like Pittsburgh or nothing. But if he calls him up in July, it's like, hey, I'm ready to go. Speaking of, let's find this out. Ready? So I searched when was the last time each team took a quarterback in the first round. All right, I might be off. I might be on an island on this. I guess teams don't do this. So I guess second
You're
or
totally
third,
on an island.
Second
Yeah,
or third is where
100%.
second or third is where you should start. I guess taking a quarterback because
Third or fourth.
Pittsburgh Steelers have not taken a first round quarterback since 2004. Big Ben.
Pretty good.
And Big Ben has sucked for years, and they still haven't done it.
Yeah. But here's my thing though. I mean, some of these teams should have been taking quarterbacks multiple times because they haven't taken them in years. I mean, this was written in 2019, but before Tua, Ryan Tannehill was the last time the Dolphins took a first-round quarterback in 2012.
We're waiting for him to take the next step.
But then again, most of these teams only have one first-round pick. You're not in a situation when you have 3 first-round picks. So I'm saying this article starts with this paragraph, which is just very funny. The league's elite quarterbacks really escape the franchise that draft them. For every Drew Brees who flourishes in his second or third or fourth stop in the league, there are 5 Ben Roethlisberger, Philip Rivers, and Eli Mannings who only take the field for a single team in the course of their careers. Where's this fucking thing? Here it is. The Giants made a point to pick a quarterback with 5th-round advanced stats in the first round, which will surely work out in their favor. Haskins slid to a needy Washington team who had at first glance one of 2019's best drafts. And that was when it was Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, and Dwayne Haskins were taken in the first round in 2019.
I'll be honest with you. In that draft, I really wanted the Dolphins to get Dwayne Haskins.
I thought he was going to be good too. To be honest with you,
I
You know who mine
in
is?
college.
Wait, who was your OG? Like, this guy's going to be good. Go get him quarterback. Because mine for the Eagles was Geno Smith.
Oh,
I was like, yo, go get that guy. He's going to light it up.
I
I
probably
can't even remember.
I don't know about OG, but I'm living through it right now. It's Tua, man. I'm living through it. It is what it is.
Some crazy numbers there. All right, so I guess I'm alone on it, but 3 first-round picks. I still think you should consider it. And if they do it, I want to be called a genius, even though Howie's an idiot.
I don't know.
Yeah, do you want to be linked in the same conversation as Howie Roseman?
Yeah, I know. We'll see what everybody's calling him 5 years after that.
Maybe
Because
financially.
if that happens, he is forever your boy, Howie Roseman.
Yeah, you guys are holding hands forever.
It'll make up for the Justin Jefferson pick if he takes.
No, it won't.
If he
Jesus
proves me
Christ.
right, if he proves me right and takes a quarterback with one of his first 3 picks,
You're
all's well. All's well.
you are so dead, dude. Shot out.
Looking ahead to next week, just from a gambling aspect, a lot of teams have nothing to play for. So
Going to be a brutal.
I wouldn't touch Bengals Browns.
Nope.
Burrow is not playing.
Chargers Raiders is probably the only thing I bet on.
Yes.
I put
Games
everything
that have significance.
on your Sunday night dog, your Las Vegas Raiders knocking the Chargers out of the playoffs. Mike Gesicki wins his head coaching job. Raiders go to the playoffs. Get ready. Sunday night dog. They're barking.
You'd have to hire him if they make it full
You
time.
have to.
You have
Who?
to. Rich Bisicchia.
Rich Gesicki. I said Mike.
Bisaccia?
Gesicki.
It's not Bisaccia.
Bisaccia.
Bisaccia? Is Bisaccia?
Yes.
Bisaccia.
Whatever, man. He's not a real head coach yet, so I don't know how to learn his name.
True.
Bisaccia.
I said Mike first, so whatever, dude.
What about the Titans?
Titans. I mean, I
What
guess
about
they're
'em?
fighting for seats still, technically.
They need to win.
Yep.
To
Win and they lock up the one.
So they're minus 10.5 against the Texans. I mean, what do we think?
They didn't the Texans beat
Texans are getting scrappy, but I don't know.
Beat the Titans.
I don't
The
think
Titans have bad losses.
They do.
They've lost Haven't they lost to the Houston and Jacksonville?
I think they lost to the Jets.
The Jets.
The Jets. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
have
Jets
bad
are
losses.
like sneaky against decent teams. Lions beat the Bucks. So
Yeah. Hey, they played the Bills. Look out.
I like the Niners. Debo Samuel has become like my favorite player, and the dude is so good, and nobody can tackle him. But if Jimmy G comes back, who do you start?
I think you just got to stick with Lance at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. I don't think he looked very good last week, but yeah, I mean, Jimmy G's not it, so I think you just stick.
You
stick
don't
with
think
this guy.
you don't think Jimmy G's it at all? You don't?
I think I would rather have Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think they would too.
I think they're the same player to me.
Yeah, I think that team would honestly be better with Kirk Cousins.
They would. He's more accurate downfield.
But I don't think.
I think that's who.
I don't think
Shanahan
Trey
would
Lance
pick.
has. I don't think.
Wait, didn't he coach him on the
Yes,
football team?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
okay,
Yeah, it would actually
Yeah.
happen.
yeah.
I just don't think. Who do you want to call it? The fucking
Niners?
Jimmy G. Like I don't know. They were. You had them winning games. They were winning games when he was quarterbacking. Like I don't know. Can you really? Once they got Kittle back, fine.
Yeah.
Like
I guess so, but I mean,
I don't think he was. I don't think he was.
Watch.
I don't think he was. I think he's kind of similar to Carson Wentz in the sense of
Jimmy G.
as long as he doesn't do anything to lose you the game, he won't do anything to win you the game.
Their weapons are so good that just get the ball in their hands. It doesn't matter if it's 5 yards behind the line. You have guys who can take it to the house. So.
Yeah, like to me, he's a worse version of like Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, totally. I would, but I think they're in that same tier.
That's
who's
fair.
the worst version of Derek Carr?
Jimmy G.
Derek Carr's way better than Jimmy G.
That's
what
I
we're
just
saying.
said.
Okay, all right. I thought you were saying Derek Carr's worse than Jimmy G.
No.
Like,
Jimmy G is Derek Carr light.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of quarterbacks, and we mentioned before Baker possibly moving and Kirk moving. What quarterbacks openings do we think there will be, and what head coaching openings do we think will be? Because we're looking at what do they call it, Black Monday.
Yep.
Well,
Black
I
Monday.
think Nagy's finally done. So
They're
that
going to let
that'll
him
be
coach. They're going to let him coach though. The last
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
you said Black Monday.
Yeah, he's done.
Yep.
So we got the
I'd say
Bears.
most enticing openings. What are we doing? Coaches?
I just want to know what's all the openings first. All the openings, and then all the teams with a new quarterback next year. Who do we think they are?
Okay.
Is Pete Carroll on the hot seat?
Yeah,
Gotta be.
Seahawks.
Has to
Be
be.
right. Okay,
Has to be. It's either him or Russ, and I'm keeping the quarterback.
I would agree with you.
Broncos. Vic Fangio.
He should go back to being a D coordinator. He's
Yeah.
really good at running a defense, not a team. So he'll be a
Agreed with
great
you.
pickup as a defensive coordinator.
I think the Raiders should stay with Scout.
Satya.
Thank you.
Ricky B.
But if they don't, there's an opening there.
Yeah.
Like we talked about the Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin.
I mean, we're getting rid of David Culley in Houston, right?
No,
He was
keep
just a
him.
placeholder.
I think they're
Why?
gonna
Keep him.
I think they're
Why?
gonna
They're scrappy.
They were better than expected.
They won more games
I-
this year than last year, and last year they had Watson.
Would you rather have him or Dan Campbell as your quarterback, as your coach?
Who?
Dan Campbell.
I
baby.
personally
Find out.
Campbell, and it's not even close.
I think that's close. I think they're similar coaches. Just Cully's just older, not as fiery. Both player
Jacksonville's
coaches.
open,
Jacksonville.
wide open. Harbaugh is rumored to be coming to the
I was-
NFL again.
Yeah, they're saying Harbaugh.
Dolphins
Really?
Twitter really wants Harbaugh.
Ooh.
Ooh,
They're
no,
not
I think
done with the Flores thing, dude.
dude, Flores, he does the thing every year. Just does enough to above 500.
Woody, so did you come back on Flores or are you still out?
So they crush terrible teams. You can't look like a defensive genius against like Ian Book and Mike the Neck Glennon. I mean the Lamar thing, they just kept zero blitzing him, and for
They
whatever
made no
reason, the Ravens they made no adjustments.
Right.
Other than that, the quarterbacks they faced Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson. I mean, if we're being really honest, the Texans game was a really good chance, or the Titans game was a really good chance, and they got steamrolled. So
Is there any chance
That-
he gets fired?
I think there's a small chance, but I don't think it'll happen.
I think the only way he gets fired is if they know who their next head coach is. Like
yeah,
if they're,
and
if
it would have to
if
be
Harbaugh's
it would
like,
have to be
"Yo,
Harbaugh.
Like, I'll come to the Dolphins, and he's like,
Yeah.
all right, you're gone.
Yeah, I think that is the only way they would do it if
Okay.
Harbaugh was expressed interest to be the next coach.
How about
Dude, I
Panthers?
think the Bills OC, I think he's got to be front runner.
Brian Daboll,
Dude,
Yeah, he's up there.
he's got to be what?
he's got to be front runner for a freaking
Yes.
job. I mean,
Yes,
I mean, to take Josh Allen where he was to where he is now, it's really incredible.
Eric Bieniemy.
Eric
So
Bieniemy, yeah, but I'm saying Daboll because McDermott's a defensive guy. Like this offense is all him. Like Bieniemy
Yeah.
has Andy,
Big Red.
and then Byron Leftwich has Arians, even though Arians claims that he has nothing to do with the offense.
Yep.
Neither does
Still
Leftwich,
in his system.
Tom Brady.
Right, right.
How about
Joe
Yeah, I
Judge.
think
a little
those
bit of a
guys-
spicy one? A little bit of a spicy one.
Would be at the top of
Carolina?
the list for
Is Carolina
with
fire?
a young quarterback and whatnot.
I'd get rid of Matt Rule. I'm
They
not
got
crazy
rid of
about
Joe
Matt
Brady.
Rule. Yeah, that was literally it's not me, it's somebody else.
Yeah, that was a weird fire. And then this is, I guess, kind of the same thing, but would the Cowboys fire Mike McCarthy for the offensive
No.
coordinator if he were to leave?
Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think? I think the Cowboys want Kellen Moore to stay, and the Cowboys that I think they would do anything to keep him there.
I think they would Jerry would behind closed doors just give him a couple mil just to hang out as OC and just let McCarthy run his course for a year, an extra couple years. But
And then the Giants. I know they already said they're not
There's-
firing anybody, but they gotta fire them, right?
I would.
I mean, that's a clown show organization.
They've never. This is from Warren Sharp. They've never had a winning record at any point in the last 5 seasons. That's the
Since
Giants.
the boat pick. Since the boat
Yeah.
pick, they're the worst franchise in the league.
I don't even
0-1.
I don't
I mean,
even
1-0.
know if it's Joe Judge. Gettleman has to go.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. They're talking about firing Gettleman and bringing in
Yeah.
a new GM who's just going to fire Judge after one season. It's a wasted year. If you fire the GM and don't fire the coach, that's the dumbest shit you can do because the GM's just going to want to fire the coach the next time he gets a chance to put his guy in there.
How bad does the Saquon Barkley pick look?
I mean, that was
They wasted
called,
him.
Yeah, that was called from day one, though. That you're going to waste his good years trying to find a quarterback.
Totally wasted.
Yep. And then they reached on a quarterback to try to salvage it.
He
And they're
was their
bringing him
guy.
back too.
Yep.
That's what they say, but that should be an opening too. So out of
agree.
these picks here, I think. Here's some teams that are going to be looking for a quarterback too. So you got the Bears, Seahawks, Broncos, Jacksonville, Houston, Minnesota, Carolina, the Giants. That could potentially fire their head coach, which is 8 teams.
Yep.
I would say all of them, but the Seahawks.
Atlanta's going to be looking for a quarterback probably.
We got Atlanta and Pittsburgh both looking for quarterbacks. 10 teams looking for quarterbacks potentially. I mean,
a lot.
some of these are going to move around. You think Kirk Cousins is going to probably go to another team. Obviously, that's one of these guys. Russ, the same thing. I think Jalen Hurts has played his way out of the Russ Eagles bringing in Russ conversation.
They're
hopefully.
still talking about it, but if you think Jalen Hurts' ceiling is like Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
so you're
And
going
then-
to trade. It doesn't make any sense to me to do it.
Are the Dolphins still talking about Watson in this offseason?
Yes. 100%.
So
Have to. You have to.
Okay. Have to look at him. All right.
Have to.
But yeah, I don't know. Does firing Pete Carroll save Russ in Seattle? I think so.
Dude,
He's
I
on-
think
100%.
yes,
gone.
and
I
then
think he's
put
gone.
Daboll out there, man. Let
Yeah.
Russ cook for sure. Come on,
Yeah.
that would be sweet.
And just two body language things I've noticed the past couple of weeks. DK and Justin Jefferson, how much longer are they staying with these teams with their current situations? Because they both look unhappy.
Justin
I
Jefferson
think,
hates Kirk Cousins. He hates him. It's crazy.
I mean, he doesn't have a choice. Obviously, they both really don't have a choice too much yet. They're at year 2 and year 3. So they don't really have too much bargaining power, I guess, yet to move. But they both look like they can't wait to get out of there.
I mean, DK, I feel like it's more of a scheme and the way that they want to run that.
I know.
team
He just
and the
doesn't look
offense.
like he's giving much of an effort anymore. I mean, maybe that's just because they're out of it, but like he just like I don't know. Whenever I see him on red zone, it's just like he's just walking back to the huddle, just like this sucks.
But you're right. Every bad throw Kirk Cousins makes to Jefferson, he's like,
keeping it fucking bounds, bro.
It's hilarious. He probably wishes he was on the Bengals.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know where else you go. It'll be an interesting year, especially. I think you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks move and jump around if this quarterback class is going to be as weak as we're thinking it's going to be. I mean, Minshew might be a starter next year if this class is really that weak.
If he plays well, if he starts and plays well against Cowboys, that's perfect for him.
His next starter.
He will start. He will.
Who trades for Garoppolo?
Panthers,
Broncos,
Saints.
Saints. That would be a good one. Yeah,
that is the best spot.
The Saints. They're probably going to cut Jameis,
okay.
but he's only on a 1 year deal though.
He's coming back.
He's only on a 1 year deal.
Put Jameis on the Broncos without Fangio and let him air that thing out. That would be
Mile High.
Yeah, baby. That ball 100 yards.
Easy.
He's going 30-30 again.
I forgot Jacksonville had Lawrence, man. Lawrence is just talk about being all the hype and then just being forgotten about. Going to that
literally nobody's even talking about how bad
you don't even hear Lawrence's name like brought up on any NFL show. Nobody talks about it.
Nope.
1, he plays for Jacksonville. 2, he plays for Jacksonville. 3, he plays for Jacksonville. That's why nobody talks about him.
Counterpoint 1-1.
Good counterpoint.
And he was talked about a lot when they drafted him.
Talking about like I understand he plays for Jacksonville, but they ain't lighting up. They ain't talking about how bad he's been, and I think Urban Meyer took a lot of that heat. Like I don't think Urban Meyer obviously developed him well, but like coming out every week, it was what the fuck is Urban doing, and not hey Trevor Lawrence is playing like hot garbage.
Yeah.
And the Bears, they better. I don't know who they're going to bring in for Fields, but they better not fuck that next hire up either.
They'll get someone. They have to.
They'll fire Pace too. They should be firing both of them.
Yep. You want to do some picks?
Yeah.
Yeah. How are we doing?
All right. Let's recap Week 16 before we go into last year.
Week 16. Damn, we missed last week, huh?
We did, which is going to probably hurt some people here. All right. So Week 16. Ready?
Yep.
I need your help, guys.
I got the scores.
Okay. Falcons -5.5.
Negative. They won by 4.
Colts +1.
Hit. They won outright.
Bills Pats over 43.
Yes. 54.
Steelers +7.5.
Steelers?
Yep.
No, they got smoked.
And then Minnesota +9.
Hit. They only lost by 7.
Love that. Okay, here we go. We got Tampa Bay -10.
Yes, they killed the Panthers.
Lions +5.5.
Hit. They lost by 4.
Under 42.5. Chicago, Seattle.
It was 49. I'm not sure what you said.
Kansas City -7.5.
They won by 26.
And under 46.5. Giants, Philly.
It was 44.
That was a great. By the way, I don't know if that was a really boring game. Giants, Eagles. I don't know if you guys probably all missed that, but I think it was 3-3 at half.
Yeah.
Live over under was at 26.5. I texted it to the boys.
And the Eagles finished with 30 something.
Yeah, I said live over under 26.5, guys. Don't be stupid here. Like it's the Giants. Yeah, awesome. Did it. All right, and then we got Raiders -1.
Yeah. I don't see it. They won by 4.
Okay, we got Dolphins money line.
That was my money. That was my. Let's go.
They won by 17
That's when they jumped to the 7th seed,
over the Saints.
and then they were dead in less than a week.
Yeah.
second. And then, such an underdog. Oh, your other underdog was Minnesota +3. Is that actually it?
No.
Okay, so your actual underdog. Over under 44, 49ers Tennessee. Over 44.
I think that hit.
49ers, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Thursday night. 37.
Fuck.
Texans +10.
They won outright over the Chargers.
Wow, first lock win in a while for Ricky there. Bills +8.5.
Plus 8.5. Plus 8.5.
Yep.
Oh, this is teaser? Okay, yeah, the Bills won outright.
Okay, so that was a teaser win.
All right.
Teaser 5-7 overall. Looking to
Yikes.
get close to 500 though. I mean, that's pretty good.
That is good.
5-7. That's not terrible.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, credit
Considering
to
how bad
Ricky
you've been.
or credit to Woody for taking the Bills. You're absolutely right. Josh Allen's the GOAT.
What?
You don't remember spitefully taking the Bills over the Patriots in the teaser and they won outright? I know you remember.
Well, I just don't think I said he was the GOAT. I mean,
No, you said, well, Josh Allen's so great, he should win this game. And he was so great,
I do
he won the
remember
game.
saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
He is great.
Yes, he is very good.
All right. So, taking this week.
Also, the Bills, Devin Singletary he had 20 rush attempts for the first time all season. Incredible.
Incredible.
They did. They had one game where they didn't even run in the first half.
Yeah.
Those fans should bully them into running the ball.
Totally unexpected.
Hope you guys started him in your fantasy leagues. Devin Singletary.
League winner.
Literally.
We'll get to league fantasy.
Why? Did something happen?
Something happened? Sweet.
I don't know anything that happened.
All right, so we are at the standings for the year. Myself at 24-50, Scout at 24-51, and Woody at 23-51. So
wait, we've lost 51 times.
No, we have 50 out of 50 picks. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Scare you?
So we're positive.
You're 24 out of 50 is correct. So you're 24. I'm 24-26. I guess you're whatever.
Okay, so almost that's not bad.
So I'm at 48%. Your Scout's at 47, and Woody's at 45.
Some of these are plus money. This is not bad.
Point-wise, though, for what we have been looking at all year with our keeping track of like locks being +2 and all that shit. In first place, thanks to his money line dog pick at 30 points.
Fraud.
Yes, sir.
And then me and Scout at 29.
Okay, right there.
Yep. So you have already used your money line pick. You used Saints money line, and you lost that one. Yeah. So this is insert.
So how did we do last week? You didn't tell us.
Oh, how'd you do last week? So while you were keeping. All right. So I went 3-2, or 2-2, I guess, with the win on the teaser. So like I said, teaser won 5-7. I lost my lock and my favorite. Scout, you won everything except for your over/under, and Woody lost his over/under and his underdog. So that's your first lock win in 5 weeks, Woody. Your first. You have yet to win an over/under since week 6.
What week are we?
That's great.
Week 6. Hey, Scout, don't laugh too much because you haven't won one since week 7.
Oh,
Yeah, you clown.
I lost that this week too, right?
Yeah, you're on a hell of a losing streak for that.
What a
You
run.
guys literally have been on the exact same run. It's just
What a run.
Yeah, because your over/under records, you're 4-9 and Woody's 3-10. I am.
We're giving out good
7-5.
information. Just fade us.
Yep. My underdog is 9-4. Scout at 8-5. Woody at 7-6. Favorites 4-8 for me. You guys are both at 7-5. Locks. 4-9 on my lock. Scout is 5-8, and Woody is 6-7. So locks have not been locks. And then the teaser, I'm 11-2 on my teaser picks.
That's damn good.
And Scott and Woody's 10-3, and you out here at 7-6, just keeping us down.
Hey, it's still one
Still
more
low.
than I lost. That's still not bad.
No.
So yeah, the teaser might be the way to go in the future, guys. I think if we just big brain it every week, we might be
Okay, yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
okay. So here we go for week 18. Are we including the playoffs or no? This is it, right? This is for the champ. This is for the crown.
Yeah, regular season champ.
Okay, most points. What do we do if there's a tie? Teaser record?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Teaser
Rock,
record?
paper.
I think we should go teaser record.
Duck race.
Duck race.
Oh, I love that.
Love it. Okay. So without further ado, let's go week 18.
Try to make this quick. Favorites.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough week, I think.
I'm taking the Colts minus 15.5. Playoffs on the line against Jacksonville, a team they should blow out of the water. You got to make a statement. You got to play well. Colts minus 15.5. Not afraid of the big number. Division game, though, too, which kind of sucks. But the Jaguars, this team wants that season to end. The Jaguars can't wait to go home. And they're already playing at home. So they know they've been home and they're just hanging out. And they're like, yeah, we just got to do this stupid thing someday.
Mm-hmm. I'm going against the Sunday night dog here. I think this is Herbert's I'm here for a really long time game. He's going to go crazy on Sunday night and going to literally put the Chargers in the playoffs. I think Chargers -3 is the move here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would venture to pick the Cardinals over Seahawks -6.5. I think the Cardinals want to win this game for seeding purposes because if the Rams lose, they could take the division. So I think this game's both games at 4:25. The NFL is smart that way. So Rams lose, Cardinals win big for the division.
Okay. Don't hate it. And just because you said that, I'm going to just go on the team that I think has to win to make the playoffs too. San Francisco 49ers +4. That's the underdog.
That was my underdog. So I will not take that anymore.
Dolphins +6.5.
No, total frauds.
Underdogs. Who we got?
Oh, man, the underdogs are tough.
It's a tough week for underdogs. Giants +7 sitting there. Steelers +5.5.
Yeah, Big Ben's last game.
I
That
think
might
that's
not be
what
a
you
bad
got to
idea.
think because they need to win to get in, right?
Yeah. Steelers have to. No, Steelers. Yeah, hey, I have to win this game. But the Ravens do too because they can technically get in.
So are you taking?
Somehow.
You guys taking?
I'm going with the Eagles +7 here. I think this is gonna be backdoor. All right, Cowboys are gonna start their starters for about a half. Minshew's gonna play the whole game, and once the backups come in, he's gonna light them up in the third, fourth quarter.
Okay,
So
I
Eagles
don't mind
+7.
that call.
At home. Cowboys have a lot more to lose, so they're gonna play. They're not gonna play all their guys for the whole game. Where Minshew's out here looking for a next contract.
It's true.
I'm going to take I really don't know. I'm going to take a gross pick and go Houston Texans +10.5.
Gross.
It's really gross. It's at home. Last game of the season for them. I don't think the Titans are going to be very motivated to blow this team out. They just need a win. 10.5's a lot.
Okay. Over-unders.
Fade us.
Yep.
But I am looking at one that I think I like a lot. and that would be Chargers Raiders over 49.5.
I like too.
I think that's going to be a high scoring affair.
What's that over?
49.5.
What do you rookie? Loser.
Under 38, Bengals Browns. They're just going to run the ball. None of the starting quarterbacks are there. Mixon's probably out with COVID, I think. So it'll be P. Ryan and Chubb, maybe. If I'm the Browns, I'm not playing Chubb, but give me the under 38 here.
Do the Bengals even play any starters either?
No. Why? I don't think there's no reason to. If your starting quarterback isn't, take everyone out.
Fair. I'm gonna go with I'm trying to look for a game that matters. Oh God, it's an ugly week. I don't care. I'm taking the Chargers Raiders too. Over 49.5. It's too good. It's too good.
I thought so too. It jumped out at me.
Yeah. Locks. My lock, Kansas City -10 against Denver. Kansas City still going for the 1 seed. Gotta blow them out.
Don't hate it.
Where's the game?
Saturday in Denver.
Ooh, hate it. Mile High, dude. Mile High does something weird. I don't. It cripples people.
Yeah, it's been crippling Teddy Bridgewater all year.
True.
And your lock.
So.
Yeah, that's both true.
I'm going to take – my lock is going to be the Saints -4 against the Falcons.
Okay.
Potentially no Kyle Pitts. I think the Falcons will struggle to move the ball against the Saints defense.
Ricky.
Easy one here. Under 40, Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins literally can't move the ball. The Patriots aren't going to try and show anything. They're just going to run the ball with Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. The Dolphins suck, but they're good at defense sometimes, so under 40.
Teasers.
What is it? It's +6?
+6. Or -6. Yeah, +6.
I'll make it quick here. Dolphins +12.5. They're not going to lose by that much. Tua is still playing for his job, so.
Okay. I'm taking the Cardinals -0.5. Just got to win.
I like that.
I know you do. That's what we've been losing on all year, these fucking 0.5 bets.
They're awesome.
It's like stealing.
Just take the Colts or the Jaguars +21.5 and call it a day.
Ugh.
Dude, 21.5?
What a spread. Actually, give me the Jets +22.5.
He said, let me raise you one.
New York Jets plus.
Jets are
is your house
scrappy.
getting rated
Division
still?
game. Cops is on.
They're right outside the door. They're about to throw some cuffs on you for your pajama practices.
Stop.
All right, Woody, should we get into it? Worst of the week? Worst of the year?
Yeah. How about worst of the year?
Yeah.
Let me take a swig of water first.
Floor is yours.
What a week.
So, where do we
Worst week of
start?
the year, I guess, is where we can start.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, the Dolphins and Tua. I mean, if there was a plant your flag in the sand moment, is that what they say, or flag in the ground? I mean, Tua went on the road in bad conditions against a pretty good defense. Quite the opposite. Didn't move the ball. He looked terrible, and that was just. I don't know where they go from here. The questions about is he or isn't he the guy, I still don't have answers. Part of that's the offensive line. Part of it is you just can't miss some of the throws and make some of the picks he's been making. So who the hell knows with that? I made the fantasy championship for the first year in our 8-year league, right? I think it's 8 years.
Congrats to you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
congrats.
I mean, I was up 40 points heading into the second week of the championship because we do week 16 and 17 combined.
Pretty good.
I felt
Felt
good.
so good.
I felt so good, and I feel like our league was missing some promos. There needed to be some storylines.
Yeah.
So I preemptively sent Max, who I was playing against, who was down 40 points, whose roster still isn't. I've been looking at his roster saying, how did this team beat mine? I saw a tweet from some fantasy expert saying a certain percentage of players with championship winning teams had these guys, and I had 3 of the 10 guys on that list. Long story short, I end up losing in a dramatic way. Like, you couldn't have written it any better. Just how usually if you've won or whatever.
The amount of so the final 4 or 5 minutes of the witching hour, the 4 o'clock, we had a witching hour of our own of watching this matchup and how
it was stupid.
Yeah, I want to know from you, how bad did it suck to watch everything for your players get overturned because you had a Trey Lance touchdown called back as a holding.
Did anyone actually see the hold? I still haven't. He was out of the screen. He wasn't even in the replay when they were showing the hold. Ayuk wasn't even there.
You had some other just.
I had the Cowboys decided not to kick the extra point.
Yep.
Kamara had a overturned touchdown or something.
Yeah, he had something kind of wild happen.
I mean, and then Kyler. But you can go down that rabbit hole, and he could have just started Burrow each week and would have destroyed me. So you can go either way.
Yeah.
But the how it went it was back and forth. I was way out of it, and then Trey Lance bombs it to Debo, touchdown, Kamara, touchdown. All of a sudden, I'm leading. It's like a 30-point swing with all of our guys have about 3 minutes of actual gameplay left, and then it was just Kyler dink dunk. That scramble was the killer.
Yep.
And I mean, if the old is it better to get blown out or lose by a last second? It's way better to get blown out because the other worst of my league was in my other league. I went against Jamar Chase in the championship and just got demolished. So that was my. Do I regret sending Max preemptively the second place medal? I do not. I think that is
it was awesome.
Something.
It was awesome.
An added
all time.
flavor that needed to be added to the league. I think we are here to stay with the taunting.
A rivalry
in the league.
It's gonna get real toxic real quick.
I totally anticipate Max either gifting me. He's gonna give it to me in a way, whether it's the Bachelor, whether it's the wedding present. I know that second place medal is coming back to me, and I deserve it. But I regret nothing.
Can't.
It is so hard. I've never made it to championship in that league, and it's so freaking hard to do that. And I don't think I'll ever be back. I had the perfect team, and I lost. I drafted the perfect team.
The perfect team.
Debo Samuel, Eckler. I mean, and
Kamara.
So Kamara, that's how you play the game.
PPR monster, man. And that's the thing about the championships. It's just one guy goes off, and it's
all about the matchups.
Yep. That is my worst of the week.
Yikes.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I lost to Brian and Madden.
Yikes. Yeah.
Wait, you played him in the wild card? You played the wild card game?
I still have to do that.
Okay, so we haven't lost all hope yet.
There's still hope, right?
If we do that, yeah.
Wait, real quick, did you guys see I think I retweeted it. This guy in fantasy was down 0-2 or 0-3. So he was screw it. I'll trade for the whole Bengals team. Trade it for Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. He had T. Higgins. He had Tyler Boyd, and he had tight end and Mixon. Made the playoffs and then blew the championship out. He went undefeated the rest of the year. Just because he had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in the championship.
Fantasy's nuts, man.
It's insane.
Luck, and that I guess will fall right into my best of the week. Talk about being on edge for 2 weeks, but go ahead and snuck that one out. Your brother's a bigger loser than you, so it feels great. I mean, it never really was in doubt, but I did look at the scores before the games kicked off Sunday, and your brother was down by 30, and you were up by 30. And I said, one of these guys is not gonna hold this lead, or one of them's gonna come back. Something's gonna happen here. And it did. I'm glad it was never really close because, God, my team, like, talk about falling apart. If you look at the numbers, so like I said, we do 2-week playoffs, right?
Yep.
We have the team I played, Blacksmith Smartins. They went ahead and scored the 10th most points in the second round of the playoffs out of everybody. The team that should have been in the bottom, which was Philadelphia Flyers, scored the 9th most points in the 2 weeks.
What a bad name.
And I scored the 8th most. So it felt good to know that no matter who I played in the bottom, I was not going to be the worst team. I would have finished in 9th either way. But kind of crazy that the only person I would have beat this week really is Corey or Dave, which kind of just funny how that worked out. But the bottom teams were the bottom teams. Sloth Analytics, year 2, volume 2. Stand by.
Damn.
I think we got
to scout this. Oh, there he is. He got a new mic, so he's adjusting.
Sorry, the Wi-Fi. I don't know what just happened. The Wi-Fi just I don't know.
The switch was flipped. It's time to get off.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Switch.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's official.
Yeah.
I have a lag switch. Best of the week, I came in 6th place, went from 8th place to 6th place in the fantasy league. Shout out to John Pat for coming in 7th. All
It's
time.
pretty simple to understand.
It really is. All time back and forth.
I lost brain cells waking up to 110 texts about meaningless placement.
That was absurd. Waking up to 54, man. I thought somebody died. It was like a random Tuesday. Just everybody talking.
Literally 110 texts about
JP just getting the chat going at 9 a.m.
Oh man, it was really something. It made the week best of the week there.
Oh, I didn't have a worst of the week. My worst of the week is my headset broke for Xbox. So
damn. What are you doing?
Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this. Well, it still kind of works, but like, ready? Ooh. So there it is. It's kind of.
Ooh, it's dangling.
Yeah, so you got to push this part up.
Ooh.
Like that. And we don't have that small of a head, unfortunately. But
we just had Christmas.
Oh yeah,
bad timing.
It broke Christmas Eve.
Yeah, bad timing.
So naturally, couldn't get a replacement. Just got to ride it out.
That's fair. Worst of the week was COVID week over Christmas.
Yeah,
got something to say, Woody?
Well, my dog is just honking to his pig right now, so I think it's time to wrap it up. But I'm sorry. That sucks.
I thought you were going to make fun of me.
No, why would I do that?
Okay. Yeah, it's big of you.
Tune in next week when we've explained NFTs to Scout.
NFTs coming up. If you aren't educated on the subject, get educated because we're going to teach Scout all about it. It's going to be
electronic art. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah.
That's a start. Yeah.
Yeah, start. Nailed it.
It stands for electronic art. NFT. Makes perfect sense.
Yep. Be back next week. Little playoff picture. We'll know the playoff picture. We'll make some predictions. Super Bowl champ. All that stuff. So, yeah, later, haters.
Peace.